Hello, my great and wonderful people. We welcome you all once again to our today's episode of this program. Now we, the nation voice, the voice when they reveal the secret things when they say the government and the politician that they say they cover. And today it gets these videos when they say one quickly show una concerning the things when they say it still they go on for inside our country here, Nigeria. And before we begin to show una one after the other, in case today not the first time when you be see una the hear about us on the channel be this, we say you are highly welcome. I beg do us a favor now. You see that subscribe button, press and the small bell when they near press some as well so that anytime we upload a video again, you know what the suffer to look for them. It will only come to you like a message. And our prayer be say, they say we want to be say they support us for the channel. Now they say when God with the same people, when will they support you for everything when it good when you put your hands to do in Jesus' name. Amen. All right, without we not waste any of your time again, we will leave una and make una watch this video and we will come back for the conclusion.
There is the Fulani question.
Yes.
There is the Igbo question.
Yes.
And there is the Yoruba question.
Yoruba question, yes.
We have been discussing the Fulani question.
Yes, sir.
If we don't resolve these questions, we'll go our ways, right?
Yes, certainly.
But we can answer these questions and build a one Nigeria that you don't want.
It is possible. Nothing is impossible, but it is difficult. Difficult in the sense is that by character, by pedigree, by culture, by level of civilization, we have one leg amongst these legs that believes in domination, that believes that others are inferior, they are infidels, and their own concept of their own religion tells them that these infidels have no right to live, to exist.
Their belief can be changed if they are engaged. Hitler had that belief.
Hitler was not, it wasn't a spiritual or faith. It's just a belief. We are not talking about faith. Faith is very emotional. Faith is very fundamental. Those who believe in God, it's very difficult to stop them from believing in God.
Despite this belief, we've been together since 1960.
I know. They did not, they had power, and the rest of the country allowed them to continue in the hope that it will change. But when you now had the great poverty in the north, you now had all these Amajis and have all these insurgents and all those, built up, that people now begin to say no.
So that might be the shock that will create the change.
It might. I'm not saying it is impossible. I only say it's difficult. It's possible that the 4 million or thereabout Fulani who are terrorizing the rest of the country, it is possible for them to have a change of heart. It is possible. There's nothing impossible. If that happens, it will be a great day. But I don't see it happening, and I don't see it coming. What I see coming is that, like a people who are deaf and dumb, they want to pull the pillars holding a building on themselves and collapse.
Teacher Bento has spoken, right?
All right, my great and wonderful people. I believe say all of us don't watch that very video when it be say come from Chief Tola Adeniyi. Yes, the one thing when it give us joy to see this very revolutionary mind from all sides of Nigeria, all side. This one they come from the side of the Yoruba, the Ododuwas. Now so we still get from the side of Biafra and also from every other part. Yes, as you don't hear say this chief don't explain this very word. We no see and say now something when it be say these people already. They see themselves, most especially these northerners, they see themselves as dominant. To the extent now for inside this COVID-19 issue now, waiting that they do now to they use trailer, they distribute their children. When it be say they don't produce from the north, they dispatch them to all the part of Nigeria. To the take responsibility, I think for inside the late 2019, we published a video when it be say Even all this alamajiri, this some disabled and everything, whole protest for for Lagos State. They demand their rights from the governor of Lagos State. They not be from Lagos, so they are from the north, but they can't hold ground. They hold protest for Lagos State, and I believe so the same thing they happen all around Nigeria, of which the Westerners and the Easterners they no fit do such for the north. It no fit possible. And the same thing now incident happen today when you see say herdsmen will kill somebody, they will catch herdsmen with AK-47 for inside that Nigeria. So even if kill somebody, you will see and say they no will fit carry out justice as the case is supposed to be, because they see the same another set of breed of people. But may they find that same AK-47 for the hand of the Easterners or the Westerners, you will see and say that person either eroti for G or we not even know what happened to her. And also, may we remember, say this will not be something when it be say just start yesterday or a month ago or a year ago or about 3 or 5 years ago. Right from the day when it be say we get independent, now these people get this character they come. Because why I remember us this very word not pass the question when that person when in the interview ask say this thing they feel changing. How long will continue to die in silence? They pretend to follow those who we know say now that they kill out. It looks so obvious. All right, I will leave una now, make una share una opinion with us on the comment section. As I leave una, make una watch this next video and I will come back for the conclusion.
People are the majority of the voting age in our country. Why can't young people organize themselves and throw out the 70-year-olds?
The question is not whether you can throw out the 70-year-olds. The question is that in a situation where the same mind clamors for bread and books, bread will always win. And the political elite of this country have mastered the art because they know that 500 naira and 1,000 naira will make people sell their votes at the polling booths. And so it is not that we young people don't want to organize to take over from you. But it is that your generation has the money to keep our generation aground. And your generation has deliberately, sir, except for very few progressives like you, refused to give us the kind of education that will empower us to demand mandatory accountability from your generation. The kind of education that will help us to become innovative and drive competitiveness for Nigeria's economy. When you say that banks are giving loans to small businesses in Nigeria, the banks come with double-digit loans that are unaffordable for those small businesses. When you talk about youth and unemployment, the idea is not even youth unemployment. The idea is that youth unemployability is a greater challenge above youth unemployment. When you do not empower our generation to speak English so that we can get the right kind of jobs that will help us stand side by Singapore, Finland, and Canada, you deprive us of our fundamental humanity.
I agree with you, don't worry.
And I'm sorry, Professor Batitomi, I do not mean to be combative or to be activist. This is a platform for reasonable conversation.
Absolutely.
But I believe that young people like me get the opportunity to speak truth to power only once in a while. And I stand here for an entire generation. I cannot curry it for the old people. The policy makers, the captains of industry, the people who make decisions in private companies to sponsor reality shows and refuse to sponsor youth empowerment programs, they sit in this room. And it is therefore important that I put the voice of my generation on the agenda, because I know you people are
That's
the ones.
That's why I started with you.
I thank you.
Give me a break. I started with you because I know that.
Based on logistics, there are two categories of young people in Nigeria today. The first category, the educated, empowered, and privileged. The second category, the poor, the deprived, and angry young people, who form the majority of the youth population you refer to, and are the ones that have become the tools of trade in the hands of the politicians. So we, the young people who are educated and can make the type of decisions and understand where Nigeria needs to go are in our minority. The ones in the villages and the bushes who don't have education, who are poor and angry, who become area boys, do not even have food to eat 3 times one day. Now, where do we go from here? How do we promote inclusiveness? Nigeria and Africa have to become entities that embrace consequences. What do I mean by that? Consequences, when we begin to punish bad behavior in Nigeria, when people steal our money and we put them in jail, Nigeria and Africa will become better countries. I'll tell you why, sir. In Singapore, under Lee Kuan Yew, a minister bargained with a contractor and took money and took bribe from him to give him a contract. When Lee Kuan Yew found out, the minister committed suicide and left a note behind that he would rather die than face the consequences Lee Kuan Yew will place there. In Nigeria, when people steal our money, we give them chieftaincy titles. When they steal our money, we give them doctorate degrees. Somebody said that the reason why rich people in Nigeria don't fund research is because there's no substance at the base of their wealth. So when we do not place consequences side by side our actions, we do not send a strong message to the people who have stolen. How do we promote inclusiveness? Number one, we need to be able to embrace the principles of equality, where the children of the rich and the children of the poor can go to public schools because public servants elevate the quality of education in the public schools. Number two, where the children of the poor can get jobs without having connections. When they go to University of Lagos and go to University of Ibadan, and they are given the same kind of jobs that people like me who went to Harvard University Kennedy School can get. That is when we become an equal country. A country where the children of the rich go to school abroad and come back to lead the corporations is not a country. We're just simply cohabiting. Why do I say that? As things currently stand, one day, during the Occupy Nigeria protest in 2012, the area boys didn't protest to Oshodi. They didn't go to Agege. They didn't go to Yanopaja. They went to VGC. They went to Ikoyi. They went to Lagos. They went to VIA. It means that they know the homes where the rich people, the children of the rich people stay. And the truth is that in a country like this, where we continue to segregate and keep the children of the poor aground, this country is going to go up in flames one day. People are going to get to a point where they cannot take anymore. And people are going to get to a point where they cannot take anymore. When we create jobs, we cannot, within companies, we cannot decide that, for example, the children of the rich must be superior to the children of the poor. And as we continue to promote the ideas of diversity, of inclusion, of equality, we need to move forward and think about how to strengthen the economy of Nigeria by diversifying.